Happy Thursday, everyone. Today is January 8th, 2026. We are here for a work session. And as always, we would like to stand for the pledge. And I've asked our Riverhead Fire Chief if you would lead us in the pledge today.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. And with that, we will hop right into our first discussion item, which is the Reverend George Dupree and Councilman Ken Rothwell regarding the installation of a peace pole. So, George, if you would like to come forward, so that would be fantastic.
So just for the general public in the background, this is something we did, have a seat, Jonas. We discussed a little bit last year, and I think we're ready now. It's time for it to come to fruition in terms of selecting a location and a placement within the town of Riverhead. But just to kind of update everybody, if you want to just give a little synapse of the project itself.
Okay, so the peace pole is it's a pole. It's like a 4x4, about 7 feet tall. It has usually 4 languages on it on each side. And what it is interpreted as may peace prevail on earth. And normally what will be done is that you'll pick the prevalent languages of the community. And so it'll be, let's say, English, Polish, Spanish, whatever else is picked on all 4 sides. And it will be that. It does have a little Rotary logo on it because it is, a Rotary initiative. And that's it. So what we're looking to do is we'd like to see about placing it on someplace that would be town property. Rather than some kind of a private entity, and then it would be in a place where it would have, some visibility. And what I was personally thinking of, because I, looked at different things, had some different feedback from people, and I think somewhere along the Riverwalk would be great. That's not going to be disturbed probably during all the construction that's going to be going on, and it's a spot where it'll get a nice amount of visibility for the initiative, and as well, of course, Rotary would like to get a little bit of a pitch with regard to that. But that's basically what it is. I do have a couple of pictures of the one that was placed on the Southold property, the town hall there. I looked at our town hall like at the entryway, and there's not really a lot of spot for it, especially with the memorial, the statue there.
I was thinking that in the front of the building, the true front of the building. I was wondering over there by the trees, the nice Christmas trees.
That could be nice. What I was thinking is that doesn't get a whole lot of visibility as far as traffic going by. It's not necessarily something that the Rotary Club would not be interested in doing more than one. So if we had, a couple of locations that would be appropriate.
So Stotsky Park, Veterans Memorial Park.
Right,
well.
and that's what was talked.
Gathering places.
The Stotsky Park was talked about up at the Veterans Park. A lot of different places, for it. But so that would really be a matter of, I guess, discussion among the board to see what they feel would be.
I agree with downtown. I mean, I think along the Riverwalk there, and there is actually a spot there. And I can't think of it right off, but it would be a good place. A lot of traffic down there.
Yeah, I mean, that
You
does
want to go down at the Riverwalk, and then maybe as the town square comes to its fruition over the next 2 years, then you might meet with you and Rotary, and if there's a more prominent spot for it in the town square, but at least during the construction, at least we don't hold off on the initiative.
Right, and that was the thought that I had, that because it's not like a big monument. It doesn't take a lot of construction, I'm sure, to be able to place it. And I guess that would have to be something discussed. The town would probably want to be taking care of that, but I think it's really not much more than having some kind of a footing underneath it and dig a hole and put it in there. And to be able to say, well, maybe there would be a more appropriate spot for it, So that's what we're looking to be able to do.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm bringing you here. And I'm not bringing Southold into it to say, well, they did it, you got to do it, but a little bit.
I think
have a visual.
Yeah, well, you can see what it is. So you can see, it gives the idea of the size of it. Like I said, it's about 7 feet tall. So
This one gives you that's a better picture for the
I think it
whole
would be.
right, this is the whole thing.
This gives the folks at home a chance to see it if we put it just like that.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic for everybody at home.
Yeah.
So I think it would be good to consider that we have, a large Spanish community as well as Polish community. So maybe, as well as English. So we'll contemplate perhaps maybe the 4th language.
Yeah, the 4th language
Do you have
would
a
be up
suggestion
for.
at all? Or?
I don't necessarily have a suggestion on it, but
Have you done it all in Braille? Have they done any Braille ones?
They do have a Braille option. You can put a Braille piece on it as well. What happens is that apparently, I don't know if you can see it here or not, but there's little parts that they make attachments for, and one of them is in Braille.
It'd be nice to have that.
Yeah.
They're on the side right there, and the footprint, like you said, is small.
Yeah.
So that's great. This is. Can you bring something like this every work session?
Something easy,
It's something fun.
appealing.
There you go.
So that's my presentation to the
Great.
town board.
Thank you, George.
Thank you.
We're ready if you need help with the installation of it. Certainly we got volunteers. We can also building grounds help you. Just let us know whatever help you may need and
Okay, so
placement.
our next step would be to order it, and I think it takes around 8 weeks for us to get it, and, then we would be able to finalize the placement, if that would be up to the town board to be
Yeah,
able
we
to
just go over
decide.
the languages, because are you including Ukraine?
And that could be one too, because that's not only
That's a big
a prominent one, but it's also a sentimental one, because of what's going on, so that could be the four of them,
Sure.
you know.
And we're such a unique community, as if we place multiples of these and we, find a language that's not represented in the first one, we could definitely take care of that. in a
Right,
second.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they do make them with 8 languages, but it gets to be a little bit, tight, I think. And on top of it, then, we have to think of a whole bunch more languages to be able to do.
But isn't it a fantastic problem to have in our community that we have so much diversity?
Right.
So-
Well, that does represent our community. Because
And I just want to also, while you're here, just to thank you very much for the work that Washington and which Rotary does for our town, our community. Most recently, also, Rotary has made a donation also to RVAC to help build a new ambulance facility. But it's the constant work that you do year-round everywhere, assisting with doctors overseas, and just the programs that you do are phenomenal. So I just want you to know how grateful we all are for the work that Rotary does. Thank you.
I just want to say too, thank you. I mentioned it yesterday when we met with everybody from Rotary. Thank you so much for participating in the Half Shell for Habitat,
Yeah.
the environmental program. It's the volunteers from the Rotary Club that collect the used oyster shells and bring them to the yard waste facility. Thank you so much. We couldn't do this without you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it very much.
Well, it's our pleasure, and the motto of Rotary is service above self, so we believe it's a service, organization worldwide, but also in our community in all the different ways in which we can just be a benefit.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay?
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
George.
All right, so I will get going on placing the order, and then we can be in discussion, maybe not so formally, but as far as placement. And with that, and I think the idea of the Ukrainian language is great as well. That could cover the 4.
I just want to make sure we're covering, everybody in the town, that's all. Because if the words are smaller, the letters are smaller, excuse me, at least everybody's represented.
Yeah.
That's more important than how big the letters are.
Right, yeah, so as you can see from the picture, the 4, sides of it gives a pretty prominent
Yeah.
visibility for the wording of it, okay?
Absolutely.
Thanks, George.
Thank you.
I know I'm
Absolutely,
I'm sorry.
That's right.
Now I'm getting
You're
good
giving our,
jokes.
you're giving our, yeah, he does. He's a
Want
great.
another one?
Yeah, let's you give our IT
No, I can't do
department.
this one.
So all right.
I can do it.
Go for it.
Don't take offense. Why do bald men keep combs? Because they can't part with it.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting. So, all right, Joe. Always end on a high note. Good job. Thank you.
Dad joke.
That's a
Make
dad,
everyone
yeah.
go guffaw.
Didn't you want a peace pole?
Preacher jokes.
And I just, the antibiotics task force, when I was a liaison, 2 years ago, they were trying to do this. So this is good that it's happening.
Yeah, I'm glad that it finally is. It's been something that's been on our work sessions as well for 2 years.
Great.
So finally, I said, I'm going to do it.
Excellent.
Okay, bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And our next discussion item is the reduction of years and service needed to qualify for the real estate taxes for first responders in the town of Riverhead. With Mr. Rothwell, would you like to invite our?
Yes, so we do have representatives here. We have Wading River Fire Commissioner Greg Meyer, and we have fire commissioners from the Riverhead Fire Department and our chiefs of department from Riverhead Fire Department.
Come on up, gentlemen.
So please come on up, and then
I think we should be playing the theme song "Well Dressed Men" as they come up. So.
awesome.
That's right.
Yeah,
You're gonna do that. That's right. You drew the
I'll do the long straw.
the long straw.
Long straw's luckier.
There you go. There you go.
So we greatly appreciate you gentlemen, for coming down today, taking the time out of your workday and so forth, and so thank you first and foremost. Also, just note, I have been communicating openly with RVAC as well, and I also spoke to Matt Hadoff from the Jamesport Fire Department as well, and we did reach out to Manville, so we're just trying to keep everybody, but the goal here really is to do what we can from the town board's position to help with retention of volunteers within the fire service. And so one of the options the state of New York has given us is to reduce from 5 years down. We could select it, I think, with my recommendations go to 2 years. And the idea is that after a member is in the fire department or RVAC for a period of at least 2 years, they would then qualify for a 10% property tax reduction on their services. So sometimes people have concerns about, wait, they're giving tax breaks to people, what happens? But the idea with the turnaround of the savings in which our volunteers provide to our services on a regular basis, if we ever had to go to pay departments and so forth, the cost would be astronomical. So we desperately rely on the volunteers within our town, and the men and women put their lives in jeopardy all the time, and so this is just a way to say thank you as well. And so we wanted to just kind of get some insight, some different perspectives, so it's nice that, from Riverhead, Wade River here, and so forth, just to see if you guys had comments and questions or concerns, and to make sure that we're heading in the right direction to do everything we can from a town board perspective to help our local fire departments and volunteers. What do you think?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Timothy Murphy. I'm a commissioner with the Riverhead Fire District.
Thanks, Tim.
We support this. This past year, the Riverhead Fire Department responded to numerous newsworthy events. Right, Crown Fire, right, one of them, Bell's Farm, right? So, right, the vast majority of our incidents you never heard about. That's time that our firefighters are taken away from their families, from their jobs, right? So anything we can do to reduce the tax liability on them is a benefit to us, right? Because that's more time that if the guy doesn't have to make more money to pay more taxes, then we have more time for more firefighters, right?
Yep.
Which helps the community,
Very good point.
right? So that's what we're trying to
And
do.
to the councilman's point, and I know like a couple years ago, we'd spoken about, I think there was 125 fire departments in Suffolk County or something.
109, I think now, 108.
109,
something
okay.
like that.
So, and if it ever came down to where the tax, the volunteers, it's very hard to get volunteers.
Yes.
And, at some point, do citizens have to start paying like they do in New York City? What that would do to their taxes would go through the roof. And I certainly appreciate everything you guys do.
I know on the-
and women,
I know on the district level, and John can back me up, sorry, we strive very hard to stay under the cap. Right, we really do, just for that reason. That's exactly the reason, because if we know that, what would be the difference?
Yeah.
Right?
We see that things have changed in terms of the volunteer fire service, in terms of the requirements to be a volunteer. It's not about just, I signed up, I came down for the local meeting or responded to the scene. It's the, taking firefighter 1, taking the classes, the majority of that, it's, usually, it's almost in the entirety of entire year, to go through the fire academy to be certified, to get your firefighter 1 certificate, as well as our EMTs now, or, generally, we did classes here where we started them in September, and we expect another graduating class, at the end of April. But it's a long amount. It's about continuing then, and then that's just becoming a firefighter, but then it's doing rescue squad classes and dive classes, and just there's so many different aspects of it to be certified that I think that within 2 years, if somebody has put that much time and certification and hours into these classes to get that, I think at that point you say that this person is intending to dedicate a long period of time in the fire service. It's not just that we're signing up on Monday and we're getting a discount on Friday. The 2 years, is where most of the firefighters and EMT personnel, I think, are a younger generation that's coming in, and they're the ones that are starting out and just getting married and purchasing a house, and why make them wait 5 years before they can get any type of benefit? So let's help the younger generation as soon as we can.
I just wanted to, I'm sorry, I just wanted to ask, that was a good lead-in for what I was wanting to ask the chief about. Who pays for all those courses that the the candidate.
The fire district.
So that, I'm just curious, when do you break even with these people, in the sense that if you're paying for all of these courses, how long does it take for you to recoup that money with this candidate?
It's kind of hard to put a number on that, because
I'm sorry?
it's just kind of hard to put a number on that, because depending on the individual, how often they respond, what level they take. So you take the chief here, right? The chief has went through the ranks, okay? He spends a lot of time, 7 years as a chief, right? That's putting a lot more effort in it, so we got our money's worth out of him.
No, I just
Right?
mean with the candidates.
Somebody else, well,
I'm just asking with the candidates, how long does it take for them to be able to get out and go on calls with you?
So when a firefighter comes in, that's what I was going to tack on to Mr. Rothwell. A person comes in and gets an application, his training starts, okay? He's not what we call an interior firefighter. Initially, he's not even allowed on the vehicles. He goes to Suffolk County Fire Academy for Firefighter 1. That's a college-level course. He attends class once a week, either online or in person. He has a quiz. He has a homework assignment. If they're online, they make sure they ask questions to individuals if they think someone's idle. So they have one instructor teaching, another instructor on a computer, and they'll say, Murphy looks like he's idle, let me ask him a question, see if he's paying attention. So, and then they do a hands-on portion. So at the end of the day, they're doing an 110-hour course. That's just so they can walk through the door and they can have a conversation with us. Because then their training really starts. That does not give them a Riverhead Fire Department education, or a Jamesport Fire Department education, or Wading River Fire Department education. That's so he knows when I ask for a K-12 saw, they know what it is. Or I want an 1 3/4 line, they know what that is. That's just for the
I think it's
foundation.
hard
I
to
guess I'm
measure.
just asking what
You
you're
really
paying-
never really recoup. You recoup it. It depends on how much time the person itself puts into it.
But
Some
one-
people will never recruit. Most you'll. It's kind of a hard number.
But one way to look at it, we can use the example of the fire in Wading River at the pizza place. That was what we call a great stop. You guys, everybody's always smiles when you get a great stop, right? Because when you look about how much did we pay for training and so forth, but how much did you just save a particular resident or taxpayer, Go to the highest level. People sitting right out here, we've honored people, for pulling people out of burning buildings, and we've saved lives. So there's no measure of dollars in terms
I have
The
no-
tanker fire a couple of years ago, right?
I just want to
Downtown,
say,
right?
I admire and I thank you all very much for all of your service for the town. That's not the question I'm asking. I'm just asking what it costs the fire department to put an individual through all of this, and how many years does it take for you to get them to be able to get on a truck and go? I'm looking at it as, yes.
If
thank
I
you.
can I can add a little bit more too, because we're a little different in Wading River than Riverhead, because we run fire and EMS. And I'm sure if RVAC was here, they'd probably chime in with this. We also throw in EMT training. So, yeah, you can go for your firefighter 1, which 110 hours, I actually think it's a little bit more than that now. 150 to 160 hours.
Yeah,
Now let's tack on, if you want to be part of the rescue, or EMS only, we require you to also do EMT the same way, before you can actually come in and, you can come in and help, and lift a stretcher, but before you can actually start doing things, that's just more training. So your question is a great question, but it's really hard to say, well, it's going to cost us,
I guess
$2,500 for an EMT class, or it's going to cost us X amount for a firefighter 1. I can tell you it's going to cost us, $600 for a Class A uniform. Bunker gear is, what is that, about five, yeah.
I think Denise was trying to show the community through watching this the value of this tax break that you guys need, and that's what I feel. And Kim was doing as well. So you're exactly right. It's the continued education. Being a person who grew up in a fire chief's home, I can tell you I haven't fought a fire in probably 15 years with my and any of that stuff. But that's what you give these men and women in our community is a life. When there's an accident, when something happens, you know this. Your sons are in this. It's lifetime, and you all see it, and it's invaluable. And this is an easy win for our community, and we're so thankful for. I mean, absolutely everything you do. You guys. I would like you before you leave here. I would like for you to say, because it's being televised, how people can actually sign up to volunteer. Because not only do we need it, but it's really easy if they go to whatever avenue you want them to use, whether it's your website or come and see you, because we need those, and you're a lifeline. So,
To answer your question, it takes about a year.
Okay.
So we get narrowed down, how you get the value out of the person, you never really do, depending, but, because the chief's put a lot more time in than I have, so you got your money's worth out of him. You may not have gotten your money's worth out of me yet,
I
right?
think we did.
Right, but, so the point being is, it takes about a year, because not only after they do that, then they have to go through our training, where then we want everyone to be an interior firefighter, meaning they can wear an SCBA, actually go in the building, fight the fire, rescue the people.
And once they get this break, if they don't stay firemen, it's my understanding they can't continue to get this tax break.
Councilman Rothwell and I have asked our town assessor to come and just to sit with us just for a second, if she would come up, and that way, if we could just explain this so that people, the men and women that serve with you.
But the fire departments and RBAC do provide a list to the assessor's office of eligible members
But that way,
each year.
it's just explain what they need to do to come in.
I just want the public to know that. It's not like somebody says, oh, I'll be a fireman, do it for a year, get the tax break, and then I leave and I keep the tax break. I want people to understand they
We
can't,
have enough
they can't
transient firefighters.
game this
After 5
system.
years, they usually leave because of taxes and everything else.
As-
5 years is the number.
And we have a point system too, where if you don't make your points, you end up getting rejected.
And I was gonna-
You're out of the department.
I was-
You don't put your time in, you're out.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up because you get points for every fire that you respond to, right? So
There's a minimum you have to make, and
Exactly.
But also, I'll say, just when you're talking about finances, just from a different perspective than the fire departments, as well as, like RVAC, for example, we started medical billing with them a few years ago. And so now when a volunteer is up there and a volunteer is working for RVAC as well as, it'll apply for Wading River, and they're doing that run over to, the hospital and so forth.
EMS cost recovery,
Yeah.
sir.
Yep,
EMS
so-
cost recovery.
Yep, so with that medical billing, they're not paying, there's overflow for RVAC, there's over 6,000 calls, so they do have Stony Brook University Hospital that runs calls for them as well, but the more volunteers they have, then the more medical billing that they're doing directly from themselves, which ultimately helps RVAC and helps the taxpayer in the town. And I believe that you could also speak that helps Wading River residents as well, keeping costs down.
EMS cost recovery has been unbelievably helpful for us. We've been able to take that money and actually follow the rules to where it's used. The money we get back goes back into our EMS in one way or another, whichever way we decide. We've used it to go towards salaries, we just recently purchased some new EMS first responder vehicles. We're I think in February, next month, we have a brand-new ambulance coming that paid for that. As soon as that comes in, we're sending one of our other ambulances out to get a refurbish.
A stretcher is
through-
$30,000 today.
We bought all new stretchers, all of our 12 leads, our AEDs. That's all things that came back to us that we were able to not take out of our general budget. So the EMS costs recovery bill has been huge for us in Wading River, and I'm sure, everybody else that has the opportunity to use it and do it.
Since we brought you here, would you just help us the people watching just to know what like when they need to file and how they would come to your office and just.
Well, the district would have to submit their list to us. There's a supplemental list that goes out, and you would need to identify your 2 to 4 year guys and girls. We also ask you to identify the 5 to 19, and then 20 and over. The people that are 20 and over get it for life. The ones that are 5 to 19, if they stop serving, I assume you're talking about LOSAP, the LOSAP points to whether they are on your list. That's how you qualify
No,
them.
to keep people in the department, we have to have them, we make a
There's
minimum
two things,
standard.
there's low SAP and
Separate- it's a
points.
separate thing.
Points just keep them on the department. LoSAP keeps them in graces with here.
No, yeah.
Right, because you don't want just knife and fork, because as I understand the term was a knife and forker,
Right,
to be
right. Right.
actively serving. There's an application online, it's a 466-A that you can download, or you can pick some up before you leave. And if you're going to notify your members, you can ask them to fill that out before March 1st. It has to be in our office before March 1st. And the local law has to be
Is the steps that
public hearing, you have to notice it, you have to have a public hearing, you have to adopt the local law, and then it'll take effect this coming
So
December.
the steps we need to do now is that, at our next town board meetings, we are going to, with the support of the board, pass a resolution to hold a public hearing. The public hearing could be held at the first meeting in February, general, because we are changing local law, local town code. And then, after the public hearing being the first meeting in February, the second meeting in February, we can adopt the local law to change it. And therefore, the goal is this needs to be filed before March 1st with the state,
File,
to amend our local law before
Oh.
March 1st, so that they
but they have
become
to file
eligible.
the application with us, it has to be up to the Secretary of State, I
Yeah.
imagine.
And I don't know if our town attorney wants to chime in on anything, make sure that everything I'm stating is accurate, but then, with that in mind, then by March 1st, we have everything established through town local code, and then you guys would provide a list as of March 1st. And then this becomes effective for the 2020, so it's next year's property taxes that become
This
effective as.
coming year's taxes,
Come to the
Bill that comes out in December.
26, 27
Maybe
tax
we just
bill.
wanna see this.
I just had one other request. If they, or, because I'm sorry,
No, go ahead,
I'm not
please.
familiar with volunteer fire
That's
departments.
okay.
But if they get this, right, for anyone who gets this, they'd still have to be a firefighter in Riverhead, right? They can't say, I live in Riverhead, but now I'm gonna work for Brookhaven Volunteer Fire, right?
If they, then they'd have to,
They'd have to,
There's a change in the law,
oh, gotcha.
and
that's what I wanted to
That's
make sure.
only
I did
after
bring-
20 years.
no, there's a change in the law that
Like, I don't wanna give them the
you can
tax break
opt in
here.
if you
They can go
serve a
somewhere else.
neighboring county, city, town, village, or something like that.
That was done to help out upstate New York,
Yeah.
so they changed that part of the law for that.
Montauk
And
School
I'm not-
District is the only district that opted into that. but
I'm not sure how it works for us either, because I know we cover 3 towns. So we cover the Riverhead Fire District
They have to live in this town to get the exemption in this town.
in this town,
Riverhead,
but I'm saying like we could actually have a member that's in the Riverhead Fire District, but lives in the town of Brookhaven.
But that wouldn't affect Riverhead Town.
No,
Right,
it would
right.
affect Brookhaven,
But
right,
Brookhaven would have
do
to,
their own thing.
I just wanted to make sure that if you're gonna get the break on the Riverhead taxes, you're gonna work
You
for
should.
the fire departments,
What-
Wading River,
Yeah.
Riverhead.
So we're split in half in Wading River, so I can tell you that whatever you guys choose to do, that's going to help our volunteers that live specifically in the town of Riverhead,
Right.
our volunteers that live in the town of Brookhaven.
Right, sure.
Brookhaven Town honors our letters, how Councilman Rothwell was just saying, we'll have to hand things in and, you sign away. We do the same thing, we just send it to Brookhaven Town. These are the residents of Brookhaven Town that are in Wading River Fire
well, we
District.
just say that the law is very vague. It says neighboring. It doesn't say adjoining. So Southampton is not adjoining us in any way, shape, or form,
So I can speak from my own personal thing. I spent 20 years in the Southampton Fire Department, and I was never eligible for any type of tax break here in Riverhead, because Riverhead, Wading River was always my residency, but I volunteered because I worked in Southampton and spent all my days and nights out there.
But as a
But after
20-year,
after 20 years, the state said, okay, once you have served any department in the state of New York for a period of 20 years, you then, so after 20 years of service, I became eligible.
but that's a local option. And the town and the county opted in, the school district did not. So everything that is being passed generally is local option. So Riverhead Town did opt to do that. For anybody who comes from another jurisdiction, if they have 20 years, we get the letter from the district saying that they have 20 years of service, and then they can get it on county and town, but not school. No school opted into that, so.
That's their choice, but we love you guys, and so we think it's great, and, it's fantastic, right? Any comments?
Absolutely.
Counselor, did you have
Yeah,
seconds?
I was just gonna say that under chapter 279 of the town code already deals with all of our exemptions, so in order to accomplish this, it would be a pretty simple, straightforward amendment to a subsection of section 29, chapter 279. Not really anything more than changing 5 years to 2 years.
Perfect.
So,
Sounds great. And you guys look like you might have more than 2 years in already.
I think it's great incentive for the newcomers that have been on. To your point, I believe the Councilman, you said, that you have first-time home buyers, out there, and to give them incentive to want to stay, because a lot of time is spent with them, with you guys, so I think this is a very good thing.
Yes?
As you guys know, we had a lot of fires this year. We were at Fire Department 11 working structure fires. We're second for the top in Suffolk County. We also did 1456 only fire across Riverhead. Our guys have been working extremely hard this year to put out the fires. As you guys seen it was all over the news. We had one of the biggest fires, I think, in Riverhead with that ground sanitation, and then the big bonfire that we had where we saved animals. So it was a very good job done by the guys, but my point here is that the more guys we get and we can give something back to them, they work a lot harder and make our life easier. So I know expensive going high and living in Riverhead, it's a high cost, but people are moving here. So if we can get people who are dedicated to help others, I think this town will be protected a lot more, and we have more volunteers that will help us. And I think if we give something back to them, it will help them to be, go to their rankings, make us better, and it'd be a little bit in the favor of them, and they'll come out to a lot of things and help out. If you give a little bit back, people appreciate that, and they work harder. And I think
It's a no-brainer.
Well, I just want to make sure that we have it in the law that they're going to be working on Riverhead fires, Wading River, all the Town of Riverhead fires. That's all. I just want to make sure that it's clear that if you get this tax exemption, that you're not going to be working for Islip Fire Department.
Also, to answer your questions, I know how Wading River and other departments are, but in Riverhead, we also have a probationary period. So when a guy comes in here within a year, he has to fill out everything. And if he's good, he has to hang around. The reason we were asking for 2 years is that after 2 years, they will stick out more. And then when they move out of it, unfortunately, if the other towns approve it, then they can go since they've been here 2 years. But that's how you get people inside. You get them. The other thing is the good part about this, the recruitment. If people have something like that, we can get more members in. And I know everybody on the East End is kind of struggling. So if they see something like that, it'd be very beneficial to our town and everything else that's going on.
All right, let's go through the part. Did you want to say something else?
Yeah, so my first question is, how much time do we have? Because I know you guys have a full agenda here, but I would love to have more conversation about what we can do for volunteers. This is great, what you guys are doing, and let me just start off. I'm a fire commissioner. I'm not a volunteer. I'm somebody from the public that ran for office. I used to be a volunteer years ago, so I really have no skin in the game personally. Not that that's a good or bad thing, but I'm here because I really want to do the best thing I can for all of the volunteers. So as great as this is, it's a great start.
Absolutely.
It's not enough.
Okay.
It's not enough. Not at all. What I see the volunteers do, and we can talk about their hours of training that's needed just for them to become, proficient in their craft, to be trusted by the guy that's sitting or the girl that's sitting next to them, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more. There's meetings, there's drills, there's 3 o'clock in the morning, your pager going off. It's not happening at my house anymore, so what I'm volunteering to my fire district and my volunteers is to do as much as I can. And I have ideas. Some people think I'm crazy, but I've got a lot more ideas on what I think we can do for volunteers to help them. As great as a start this is, I think it's, honestly, just me, I don't think it's enough.
We would love to have you come in, and I know.
Definitely do that.
Yeah, if you'd like to schedule.
I would love to do that. I have some ideas. I think people will accept them, and others will think I'm totally out of my mind, or kick the can down the road a little at somebody else's office. But I think there's a lot more that can be done. I can speak personally. My son just got married and wanted to buy a house in the town of Riverhead somewhere and couldn't. Ended up buying a house in Rocky Point.
Okay.
So what's the difference between, I'll just leave this, what's the difference between a $600,000 house in the town of Riverhead or a $600,000 house in the town of Brookhaven?
Taxes.
One tax, $18,000 difference just on the Peconic County tax, which is, or, whatever it's called. I might be using it. There's so many ideas I have, but I'm sure you guys have an agenda that I don't want to take up.
But I'm here every day, and I promise to listen, and I think every person on this board would.
What you're offering up to me.
No, I would love, I agree, I would love to see, send the list.
Commissioner Meyer, you've been great in terms of advocating for the fire members.
Yeah.
The department, protecting them, and that's part of one of those things as commissioners do is making sure that proper apparatus, proper safety protocols, and the equipment is in place, because the firefighters can't fight the fire without the proper equipment. So you guys do a great job in advocating, and the chiefs, I can't commend Riverhead Fire Department as well as Wading River, Jamesport, Manville. I've been on many scenes and watching, and you guys are meticulous, well organized, and you do phenomenal work. And to see the stops that have been made over the years, it's just over commendable. So great work.
And thank you in the Pazzo fire for containing that in the one shop. Thank you very much. That was
Just
not losing the whole strip mall. That was great.
That's the value of volunteers, because they're home, they're quick, and they're ready to respond.
Just to add to that, we only started with 13 volunteers from Wading River for that call at that time in the morning. Excuse me, in the morning before all our mutual aid showed up to help, and that was. Once again, a lot of training went into where the individuals that responded were well trained and competent at their job. But that takes time and effort and money and family sacrifice. And like I said, I'll just leave it off as this is a great thing to help the volunteers. Me personally. The tip of the iceberg. I think we can do so much more. So
So I'd love to ask you, before you leave here, the building today, not just call back and make an appointment. I'd love for you to go up to the third floor and see David and make an appointment, and I would love to sit down with you. Anybody, only two at a time, but we'd love to sit with you and listen. And, I think ideas, somebody one day said, put water in a bottle, and all of us were like, that's crazy, no one to buy it. And here we all drink it, so.
That's fine.
So great stuff.
I have all the time in the world. I'm retired, so I can.
I have a new cologne idea. It's called House Fire.
My biggest thing,
You guys
thank
walk by
God
it,
it's
right?
been fixed now, is just getting through the intersection at Edwards and 25 to get here.
There we go.
That's a little smoother right now. Just get the asphalt paved, and I won't have to worry about hitting the bathroom because my bladder's bouncing around.
Is that road just horrible? Or what?
But you did good. You wrote letters to us, and we submitted them to the state, and they said they were reducing it from, it wasn't scheduled to 17, they were supposed to do it in 15, but then that whole project got held up on Edwards Avenue and delayed it. So, I believe the repaving is coming shortly.
Spring.
So thanks for advocating on that as well.
I'll let you in next week. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
You want to say where you can join, Chief? How you can join?
Well, that's what we're doing. We're not leaving. So.
A lot of departments, you can join in whenever. We did a few different things in Riverhead. You can come into the headquarters, pick up an application, or you can just go directly online. We're at Fire District. You can also go on our Facebook and click on the Fire District from the Facebook. It brings you to a page where on the left-hand side it says join us.
Okay, so you can go in person, on your website, or on Facebook, all the clickety-clicks, and the website is Riverhead Fire District.
FireDistrict.org.
.org. All right, that's awesome. Wading River?
Wading River, we have signs all around. We've been doing a real big push for recruitment over the last few years. It's been a great help, and I'm not too sure if you can come in person to the firehouse. I'm sure you can. We probably have something hanging. But what's been successful for us is you go to wadingriverfd.org, and you click on that, and there's a big thing that says how to join or join here. You click on that, and we have a video to watch. I think it's a 5-minute video. You watch that to see if it's something you might be interested in. If you continue after that, you fill out the information. We have a membership committee that then contacts you. You go through an interview process for that. If you seem to be able to agree to some of the qualifications and time and commitments and all that, then goes to the membership, and then it comes to us commissioners, and we approve it. There's background checks, all that other stuff, but it goes pretty smooth now.
Thank you, gentlemen. That's awesome. We look forward to it. And every sign up. If you're at home and you're like, I got to get involved, do this. It helps your community. It's amazing. So, yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you all, everyone. Appreciate you coming out. Thank you very much.
Well, that is outstanding. We just keep every work session like this every week for the rest of the lifetime, right? So,
Am I going third floor?
third floor, yes, sir. Yep. Our next, last discussion item, I guess I should say, involves our town attorney, Eric Howard. If you'd like to come up, you're going to be speaking about the Board of Elections. From the Board of Elections.
Yes. All right, so good morning.
Good morning.
My office was contacted by the Suffolk County Board of Elections. They are getting new voting machines, and so what they'd like to do is set up time with this town, and they're going to all the other towns as well, to give demonstrations to interested voters to come in. They'll show them how they'll walk through the machines with them, give them a tutorial of how to work it. So we have two things. They would like to do a site visit to the building between sometime next week and the middle of February to determine the location that they want to do this. Assuming the board is amenable to allowing this, I would get in touch with probably Dave Zabrowski in Buildings and Grounds to identify the right place for them to do this. I'm assuming we'll just do it where we typically do the early voting in the basement. And then
Could we would they be interested in doing it like in a work session, or at least have like a Riverhead in Action could also videotape it and put it on Channel 22 that people could watch it? And
yeah, I think that's a great idea. We can see if they'd be amenable to that. I can't imagine they wouldn't be, since they want to get, sort of this information out there about how the machines work.
Are they going back to paper ballots?
I believe these new machines are going to be all like touchscreen electronic. I think. Yeah.
No hanging chads?
No hanging chads.
No filling in the dots. No filling in the dots.
Check marks, no X's, no circles, no
I think if
none
there's
of
any
that.
way we can help with the Board of Elections, I
Okay.
guess that would be great. Somebody
Yeah,
else.
and the video is really smart, because as you get closer to the election, you can run it at a certain time every single day, or at night, whatever, so people know that, you can, if they have any
They
questions.
allow us to record it, the demonstration. We could put it up on our own website where people can play it at any time as you approach elections.
Yeah. So, once they do the site visit, identify the area that they want to do this, between middle of February and middle of April is when they'd schedule the time to come in. I think they're looking for Tuesdays or Wednesdays, in 2 to 4 hours. So,
Excellent.
board's good with that?
Yes.
Good, okay. All right,
Look for them getting people to come out in the cold. No, kidding.
All right. Well, okay, everyone. This concludes our discussion items. In just a second, I'd like to ask for first and a second to close our open session and go into executive session. And before we do that, I'd just like to talk about what we're going to do. We're doing contractual matters surrounding contractual agreement between Skip Barber Driving School and the Town of Riverhead with Deputy Town Attorney HURLEY. Matters surrounding the contractual agreement between Racetrack, Not Street, and the Town of Riverhead with Town Attorney Howard. And personnel matters surrounding conditions for employees with Town Attorney Howard and financial administrator, and matters surrounding hiring of an employee with Town Attorney Howard. So with that included, may I have a first and a second to close our open session, or to enter into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Yeah. You didn't say anything.
We oppose, we just sit here for.
I know, that's what I was